Welcome back everyone to this lecture on the drop keyword. Drop allows us to completely remove a column from a table. In PostgreSQL, this also automatically removes all of its indexes and constraints involving the column. So it'll remove things like check constraints, not null constraints, unique constraints, everything that's associated with that column. However, what it does not do is it does not remove columns used on other things that are dependent on it, such as views, triggers, or stored procedures. If you do want to remove a column that has those dependencies for views, triggers, and stored procedures, which we're going to talk about in more detail later on, you can add in an additional cascade clause in order to just remove that column and those associated dependencies. The general syntax for a drop call, for dropping a column, would be alter table, table name, drop column, and then the column name. To remove all those dependencies I previously mentioned, you can say alter table, table name, drop column, provide the column name, and add in the keyword cascade, essentially cascading that removal to all those dependencies. Now, if you try to drop a column that does not exist, you'll get an error in PostgreSQL. So it's really common to add in an if exists keyword clause before the column name in order to avoid the error. So that way it only drops the column if that column name exists in that table. If you want to drop multiple columns, it's almost like adding in multiple column values. You simply say drop column, column1 name, comma, column2 name, comma, etc. Okay, let's go ahead and see a quick example of this in pgadmin. All right, here I am in pgadmin. Recall that we have this new info table that we created when playing around with the alter commands. Let's go ahead and drop the people column. So we'll do the following. We're going to say alter table, new info, and we're going to say drop column, and then say people. We run that, it worked out correctly, which means if I now select everything from new info again, run it, I don't have that people column anymore. Let's see what happens if we look at our query history, try to run that drop again. So I'm going to copy this to my query editor. This is the same thing we did last time, alter table new info, drop column people. Go ahead and try running this again. You'll notice you get an error. It says column people of relation new info does not exist. But if I add in if exists right before people, what it's going to do is going to attempt to drop the column only if it exists. And instead of getting an error, you'll get back a notice saying column people of relation new info does not exist, skipping alter table. And then it'll say query returned successfully. So instead of an error, it just gives you this message. All right, and that's basically all there is to dropping columns. Pretty straightforward exercise. Thanks, and I'll see you at the next lecture.